owner. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. I give some more shout outs later. Appreciate y'all. Y'all know what it is. Choke no joke. I'm here. All right. Like I never left. So we got a lot to talk about tonight, baby. You know, now, they follow the wave. You know what I'm saying? Wherever I go, that's where they go. And I'm about to take y'all on a different journey for the night. Mississippi in the building. What up? I see you. So, first and foremost, this is the channel of intelligent hoodlums and scholars, intelligent people, not just a bunch of knuckleheads and trolls. Ramona, thanks for the cash app. Always supportive. I appreciate you, my love. Um, rest in peace to my man B.I.G. Tupac. The Tunnel documentary is out right now. Make sure y'all get that. I dropped the link for all those who didn't get a chance to see it. When the show go off, it's a nice Saturday night. Watch, choke no joke and chill with your lady watching the Tunnel documentary, right? So, like I said, this is the channel for the intelligent people. It's not too many knuckleheads on this channel unless they coming in here to troll. And we expect the trolls to troll because that's what the trolls do. They ugly little trolls. You know what I'm saying? So the topic of the internet of the culture right now is still this Diddy documentary, right? And you know, like I said, the Diddy documentary is like the jab. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that want to take it and some people that don't. There's some of us that, got what you call it, high science, third eyes, we know what's going on. And it's a lot of y'all 85% is that are just dumb, deaf, and blind. No offense. But y'all follow the sheep, y'all follow what everybody else say. Some of y'all are slow when it comes to the information that is out there. A lot of us are privy to a lot of the information that was put in that documentary. A lot of us know that uh, that documentary doesn't have a lot of new content in it. A lot of content is regurgitated from murder rap and different other documentaries, and they just took little bits and pieces of stuff and they put it together. The whole Tupac, Biggie stuff in there is all from murder rap, which is done by a white man named Gray Caden, who worked for the LAPD, who allegedly uh job was to take a narrative and put it on some street niggas to take what people believe to be that Tupac and Biggie were both killed by some LAPD allegedly or any of the alphabet agencies out there may have something to do with it allegedly. But we all know that, well, some of y'all don't know, but a lot of us know that uh Tupac and Big was not killed by no gangbangers. Well, you know what? I can't say that because some of these cops, just because they have badges, don't mean that they not part of a gang, allegedly. Now I know many of y'all like, but choke, yo, you said before on Comedy Hype or Hype Plus, Comedy Hype is now called Hype Plus for y'all that don't know, right? Y'all be saying, yo, Choke, but you said on Hype Plus or Comedy Hype that, Diddy was the whole narrative that they got in that documentary. Choke, you said Diddy has something to do with Tupac murder, this, that, and the third. The same narrative that's in that documentary, that narrative comes from Murder Rap. Part of my former or previous, I ain't gonna say former, my previous investigation into the death of Tupac and Big. Some of the information comes from that. Some of the information comes from Keefy D. You know what I'm saying? Until I felt that Diddy had, you know, his hands in the Tupac thing until I continue to deep dive. And if you're a regular on this channel, you will know where there was a shift in my thoughts by me getting more information and keep, that wasn't the end of the investigation, right? So with my investigative journalism, I was able to obtain more information, right? Outside of my investigative journalism, I've been speaking to Suge Knight for the last 2 years, right? And speaking to Suge, I was able to obtain a lot more information that's not public information, but um, you never know if it becomes public because all his phone calls are recorded. You know what I'm saying? So there's no telling what can happen down the line when this trial begins, right? So, um, do I think that Puff had a beef or has animosity against Tupac? Not at all. I do believe that. You know what I'm saying? Um, what you call it? Uh, Big had beef with Pac. You know, like I told y'all on if you listen to songs like Long Get Kiss Goodnight, um, My Downfall, or Life After Death, you hear Busta Rhymes talk about the song that he did on his album that he never put out because he didn't want that smoke. Um, you got, Big going up on the radio in LA when he was out in LA when he lost his life, spitting uh Long Kiss Goodnight. You got Big on Rap City when Joe Clear asked him about Faith sleeping with Tupac, and Big said, if he did, he won't no more. Like that nigga dead. You know, it's clear that there were problems between uh Big, Puff, Pac, Suge. We all know this, right? But um could Diddy have made an offer to Keefy D? Very strong possibility, right? But in my beliefs, when Tupac got shot and died 6 days later, I personally believe now that that was orchestrated allegedly by Deathrow Records. Whether allegedly Reggie Wright Jr. orchestrated it, if allegedly Suge orchestrated it, it don't matter. I personally believe with all the information now obtained um between Frank Alexander, Michael Moore, uh Snoop Dogg having the walkie-talkie, Warren G hearing the commotion over the walkie-talkie allegedly, according to him, it ain't no alleged, but he said that he heard the commotion that was going on with Pop over Snoop's walkie-talkie, right? Um, Reggie Wright Jr. being able to identify the killer within an hour of Pac being shot and not being at the scene of the shooting, not being at the fight, but was able to call his father and tell him Orlando Anderson just shot Tupac and Suge, right? Uh, for the fact that Suge Knight and and Reggie Wright Jr. continued their relationship with Keefe D and Orlando Anderson after Tupac died, after they got Suge allegedly got shot, uh, which comes to find out that Suge did not get shot in the head or got a 45 bullet etched in his skull, which he later changed to this year after 30 years, changed to say that he got a 40 caliber etched in his skull with no mark, no proof. And he got that from lying ass Reggie Wright Jr. that he got this 40 etched in his skull. Then for Reggie to turn around just a month or two ago to say Suge has never been shot with a bullet, right? Uh, according to Reggie Wright Jr., according to Marv James, who also said Suge didn't get shot in the head, right? And these are his guys, right? So with all this being said and all the stuff that I just said previously, Lisa, these are the things that cause doubt in my mind that Diddy is responsible for the murder of Tupac, along with Reggie Wright Jr. Sitting down with Sergeant Reynolds and Keefe D in Orlando and sitting down negotiating with them and giving them 60,000 or whatever the amount of money was for them to go and testify, for Orlando to go and testify for Suge Knight and his probation hearing, knowing that uh Suge Knight didn't get violated because he joined the fight in Orlando. You know, Suge Knight got violated from leaving the country, going over to the Bahamas or wherever they was, right? Knowing that allegedly Reggie Wright Jr. Uh, had the gun, got the gun back from Santa Monica Police Department that got tested. That was Gaddafi's gun when they went into the House of Blues. They tested that gun, right, which was a 40 caliber Glock. That Gaddafi, no, was it? Yeah, Gaddafi or Napoleon, one of them. They tried to sneak the gun into the House of Blues. They didn't. A cop took the gun and told them they'll give it back if the gun was clean. They took it to Santa Monica Police Department. They ran tests on the gun. The gun was clean. They gave the gun back to Reggie. Instead of Reggie taking the gun and giving it back to Gaddafi or Napoleon, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Gaddafi though. Instead of him giving in the gun back, Reggie kept the gun, right? According to him and according to the this deposition that he took, right? When they went looking for the gun and asking Reggie what he did with the gun, Reggie said he took the gun and gave it to his father allegedly, and his father allegedly put it in the Compton PD evidence locker, right? After Tupac got shot and killed, we know he got killed with a 40 Glock. A gun appears in Corey Edwards' backyard, this 40 caliber Glock, when they allegedly Corey Edwards' dog found his gun in Corey Edwards' house in the Southside Crip neighborhood. They called the police and said they got this gun. They dog found this gun. They ran the test on the gun, and that gun came back to be the gun that killed Tupac, allegedly. That same gun, right? But when Reggie was asked, yo, what did you do with the gun, that 40 caliber? One time he says he gave his dad the gun, and his dad allegedly put the gun in Compton PD's evidence locker, which makes no sense, right? Then you got the story where Reggie says when they was in the Bahamas, he took the gun and he gave it to security and they threw the gun in the water, right? Now, according to Suge, when they left the Bahamas and they were coming back from the Bahamas, which he got violated for leaving the country, which Reggie and David Kenner allegedly, according to Suge, tell me that uh they told Suge he was clear to leave the country. When Suge came back, he got violated for leaving the country, and he thought he was clear because they told him he was clear. When they came back into the country, allegedly, in my opinion, Reggie threw the gun or got rid of the gun if he ever did get rid of the gun. But according to him, in one statement, he says in that deposition, he can't remember what he did with the gun. He think that he gave his father the gun, and his father put the gun in Compton's evidence locker, right? This is how I believe that somebody allegedly took the gun out the evidence locker and threw the shit in Corey Edwards' backyard, right? And this is how they found the gun, that to try to put it on the Southside Crips to make it look like that is the gun that, which it probably could have been the gun that killed Tupac, because once they ran the ballistics, the Compton PD ran the ballistics on the gun, it came back to the same gun that was used. I mean, that was Gaddafi's gun from the House of Blues, because they tested it, because Kevin Hackey was the one that was working undercover for the ATF at Deathrow, who states that that allegedly was the same gun, right? So when Suge and them coming back from the Bahamas, as they pulling in the dock, the feds pop up out of everywhere. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And this is how Suge got arrested. And Suge told me that day he knew something was up because Reggie shitted on himself. And this is before uh, he had his COVID situation, before he got locked up and he's been in the wheelchair or whatever. He back then, when they was pulling in and all the police came, they said Reggie was so nervous. He literally defecated on himself right there. And that's according to Suge, right? Um, so Suge got arrested there or rearrested, and then that's when he went and got violated. Uh, if you look on Suge paperwork, he got violated for leaving the country, not for kicking Orlando, right? So moving past that, Orlando Anderson now and Keefe D, they go have a meeting with Reggie and Sergeant Reynolds, and they negotiated for for Orlando Anderson to go testify on Suge's behalf to help him, try to beat this violation, right? Because now, being that uh he got this violation, allegedly David Kenner went and pulled the MGM footage, because now the fight came up. So they subpoenaed the footage to show that Suge didn't kick Orlando, or he didn't get into a fight, but a judge ruled differently. He felt like he did see Suge get a little kick in there. But ultimately he got violated for leaving the country, which his lawyer and uh Reggie allegedly, and you're gonna hear me say allegedly a lot because I have to legally protect myself, right? Um, they said that, Suge was clear to go, right? So getting back to the gun, that gun was found in Corey Edwards' backyard. When they ran the ballistics, it came back to that gun that was uh in Santa Monica, that got tested in Santa Monica, right? Um the gun that got tested in Santa Monica, which was Gaddafi's gun, that they saying that that is the same gun that killed Tupac, right? Allegedly. And the last person to have that gun was who? Reggie Wright Jr., allegedly, right? So, with all that information, I know I just gave y'all a cluster F of information for you to process, is why that changes my theory on who killed Tupac. Because the weapon that killed Tupac pops up in Corey Edwards. And then when they take that gun and they send it to Vegas, Vegas says that is not the gun, right? So it's a lot, right?